In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a big mistake that I see all the time with new people coming into Amazon FBA. I also see it on other Amazon channels with other gurus, and they don't really seem to talk about it much, but I think it's a huge mistake, and I want to help you try and avoid it. My name's Alex, and I'm one half of the Honest Entrepreneurs. If you're new to the channel, this channel is dedicated to giving you an inside and honest look into the world of Amazon FBA. We're documenting our own journey to a 7-figure exit with our own Amazon FBA brands. If that's the sort of thing that you're into, like, subscribe, all of that jazz. We're actually in the middle of our most successful week to date. We've done just over $20,000 this week. I'll put a little picture up here. So yeah, everything's going amazing with our own Amazon business, and we're trying to bring you insights from what we're learning and what we're doing so we can help you do the same. So let's get into it. What is this big mistake that I'm talking about? So the mistake is going out of stock on your product launch. Now, this is a mistake that I see everywhere, and it's almost used as a kind of badge of honor. So people and other YouTube gurus, I will see them interview their students, and they will talk about their product launch. They'll say, oh, it went really well, blah, blah, blah. I was selling for 2-3 weeks, and now I'm out of stock, but it's a good problem to have. And it boggles my mind. These people have no idea what they're talking about. This is not something that you should be proud of. You shouldn't be happy with this. Yes, sometimes it is unavoidable. Sometimes your product launch is going to go so well that you just didn't expect it. But the vast majority of the time, the reason that you've gone out of stock is because you didn't properly forecast your sales and you didn't order enough stock. Now, there is one major reason why this is an absolute disaster. And the reason it's a disaster is because when you launch a product on Amazon, your goal is to launch it very aggressively, and it's to stay in stock long enough that you can start to get organic ranks. So organic ranks are when somebody searches a keyword. Let's say they search for coffee table. If you've just launched a coffee table, you want to appear at the top of the Amazon search results organically. So that means you don't have to pay for PPC. That's the goal of the product launch, is to get you to rank organically, stay in stock, so you can then get organic sales and your profit margins are very high and very healthy. So what happens if you don't order enough stock is that you launch the product, 2 weeks in, your sales are going well, your organic ranks are starting to increase, because it takes a good couple of months for all of your organic ranks to really settle in and for you to really rank for all of your target keywords. But if you're not ordering enough stock, you get 2-3 weeks in and then you go out of stock. And then what? You're back to square one. I mean, if you go out of stock for 2 days, 3 days, it's not a huge disaster. But generally what I will see happen is people say, oh, I've gone out of stock, so I've just placed my second order and I'm super happy. So what that means is they place their second order after they've gone out of stock 3 weeks after the launch, and then it takes 2 months for their product to be manufactured, shipped over to Amazon, and in that time, Amazon's algorithm is basically thinking this product sucks because it's been out of stock for 2 months, it's probably going to happen again. They just don't favor products with the SEO and with the organic ranking. They just don't favor products that go out of stock. So this is something that you really want to avoid. You need to be ordering enough stock so that you can launch aggressively. You can use PPC, you can use external traffic, you can rank for all of these keywords. And then when you make your second order, you have stock arriving so that when your first order goes out of stock, your second order is already at Amazon and you never go out of stock. Sometimes, yes, it is unavoidable. On the rare occasion, your product will absolutely fly and it'll do 3 times as many sales as you predicted, and you can't really avoid going out of stock. But there is a way that you can guard against this to make sure that you're ordering enough stock. So let's take a look. So a general rule of thumb on a very high level is that you want to be ordering enough stock to stay in stock for 3 months. Now, you can see why I see these other people talking about their students, and I see these other people on Facebook groups and stuff like that talking about going out of stock 2 weeks after their launch. This is why it's such a problem, because if you're only staying in stock for 2 weeks, you've really done something wrong. So you want to be ordering enough stock to be in stock for 3 months. Now, the reason for that is that because of the length of time it takes you to get back in stock with your second order, you need to have enough of these initial round of stock to stay in stock for that second order to arrive. So just to give you an example here, if you're projecting that you're going to do 300 sales a month, so you're going to launch a product, PPC, external traffic, all that good stuff, you think you're going to do about 10 sales a day, you're going to do 300 sales a month, then you need to order 900 units of stock. So that's 3 months worth of stock. So Tom and I recently launched 2 new products. I think we're about 2 weeks in now. And on both of those products, we estimated how many sales we're going to do roughly per month. And then we made the order So we ordered enough stock on both of them for 3 months. So what that means is we've been able to launch those products super aggressively. And then about 2 weeks in, we look at all the data. So we look at the conversion rate, we look at the PPC, we look at the ACOS, we look at how well the keyword rankings are coming on, and then we make a decision. Okay, do we need to order this second? Is this going to be a product that we're going to continue with? Do we need to order this second order? And for both of these products, they've gone really well. So about 2 weeks into the actual launch, we'd already placed our second order. So now we have units that are already in production. They're on their way from China to the US. So we're not going to go out of stock on these products unless we get a huge spike where perhaps sales triple or quadruple on what they're doing at the moment. We should very healthily stay in stock on both of these products. So what that means is that by the time this second order arrives, we're going to be probably 3 months into the product launch. So that means that Amazon has got 3 months worth of data, worth of sales velocity, worth of reviews, and it really likes your product at that point. You know, you've stayed in stock, all of your organic ranks have started creeping up, because your organic ranks are the absolute key to Amazon's success. This is where you make all of your money, is through those organic sales. So if you're only giving Amazon 2 or 3 weeks to rank you organically, it's just not enough. So you might be thinking, well, how do I know how many sales per month that I'm going to do? And it's a good question. So this is obviously not an absolute exact science, but you can roughly work this out by looking at all of the top competitors in your niche. So you need to take the revenue numbers for the top person, the people in the middle, and then the people at the bottom. Now, depending on the niche, it's pretty rare that you're going to come in and in the first couple of months, you're going to outsell the top seller. Unless the niche is super low competition, unless you can somehow sell at half the price of everybody else and your product is just this mind-blowing product that no one else has ever seen before, it's pretty rare even then that you will take over the top seller, because the top seller will have been around for years. They will have stayed in stock for a long time. They'll have really good sales history with Amazon. They'll have really great organic ranks. So it's pretty rare that you're going to beat that top person. So what we do is we generally aim to sell around 70 to 75% of the top person in general. Our niche is not super competitive. The demand is not absolutely crazy. So we're confident that we can come in and we can do, you know, probably between 60 to 75%. That's kind of where we estimate it. So this 300 number would come from that. So then you can look at the people below that. You can see what are the people below doing. You kind of want to come in somewhere between. You don't want to be in the middle. You want to be somewhere between the middle and the top seller. So estimate your monthly sales based on that, and then make your first order accordingly. So really the reason why people make this mistake is because they don't really have confidence in ordering 1,200 units or 1,500 units. They either don't have the confidence or they don't have the budget. Now, both of those things are mistakes. The second one of not having a budget, this is something that you really should be taking very seriously. If you don't have the right budget to make your first and second orders, that means you can't afford that product. And that's also something that I see people make the mistake of. They have to wait to order that second, to make that second order, because they just don't have the money, because Amazon doesn't send you that money back quick enough for you to place that second order. And the first one is that they just don't feel confident with it. Maybe they do have enough money, but they're kind of scared of placing an order for 1,200 units. They've never ordered anything bulk before. They've never ordered from China. It's all a bit scary and a bit unknown. And people, you know, oh, I'm just going to be on the safe side. I'm going to test it. I'm going to place an order. I'm only going to order 300 units because it's cheaper. You know, I'm lowering my risk. But the actual truth of this is you're not lowering your risk at all. All you're doing is actually costing yourself money in the long run. Because also what a big danger in this is that if you underorder the stock, if you place an order and then it runs out in 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to look at those sales and then you're going to place that second order based on those sales. But what can often happen is you place that second order, and when your product gets back in stock, it doesn't sell anywhere near as strong as those first couple of weeks. So you've actually estimated the number of sales based on those first couple of weeks data, and it's actually wrong. So you actually end up ordering too much stock for the second order. Your product gets back in stock. Amazon doesn't like it because it's been out of stock for 2 months. Your sales are really low. And then you're like, well, I've spent all this money now on this stock because I sold really well for a couple of weeks. and then you're kind of in a disaster area. So this is why it's so important. It's a pretty simple tip, but I think it's an important one that a lot of people get wrong. It really frustrates me seeing these other gurus showing off their students' results and showing off how they've gone out of stock, because every time I see it, I think you've not done your job to tell them how much stock to actually order. You've not helped them stay in stock throughout the launch. Of course, there are times when you will go out of stock and it's unavoidable. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but you want to minimize that time as much as you can, and ideally you just don't want to ever go out of stock. So that's today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, check out our last video where I went into February's results and I showed you the results of our 2 new product launches. If you got any suggestions for other types of videos that you might enjoy, please let me know in the comments below. But if not, I will see you in the next video.